Why do you think that the culture is a bit shifting now? Women are now speaking out.
Okay, the Somali girls are saying, okay, but who do we marry? All the brothers are either in jail or they're all dead.
I feel like also in the culture, we don't cut, single motherhood some slack,
100%.
In general, have Somali men let down Somali women?
100%.
But I actually am not sorry. I'm not sorry because this is the side that you guys don't see. This is the side that, everybody sees when you're put together. And I'm tired of that.
This is the first time I've seen a woman talk about the effects it has on her as a mother and as a ex-wife or a wife where there's an absent father, right? So why is it, and because you guys have an amazing initiative, why do you think that the culture is a bit shifting now? Women are now speaking out and expressing, because before it was this Hushaw thing, right? Why do you think that the culture is shifting? I'll go to you.
Yeah, I think honestly, women are at this point where we're just like, enough is enough. Like before, okay, we're supposed to be submissive, we're supposed to be this, and I feel like women are just finding themselves and realizing like, hey, like, you guys are leaving us, you're leaving us with children, you're leaving us pregnant.
Right.
Like we have learned kind of to be a father and a mother at the same time. So, we're standing up for our rights, we're understanding, like we're finally discovering ourselves. I feel like that's sort of what's happening right now with the video.
Yeah. Khotun and Sagal, is this even an issue? And I'm going to ask this because in the comment section, YouTube and this video, the video that she put up originally, and in the YouTube section, a lot of people are saying, like you're just literally in your feelings, all right? You're out here crying. And this young woman was so authentic with her feelings and how she's working 2 jobs and how it's affecting her children. And what she wants is the relationship because she has 2 sons, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but 2 sons. And she wants that relationship for that bond for their father, because she knows these young men need their father. But people kept saying, no, it's not a situation. What do you think? Is there an epidemic happening, or is this we're blowing it all out of proportion?
Well, personally, I haven't seen the video, but I can totally understand where she's coming from. At least in Toronto, there's a lot of youth that are passing away. A lot of young Black Somali youth dying in numbers. 60, before it used to be like, you got shot at 28 or something. But nowadays it's 13-year-olds, 14-years-olds, 15-years-olds every other week.
Yeah.
So it's gotten to a point, like she said, like Somali mothers are fed up. They don't have that father figure. And they're eventually there won't be enough Somali guys to go around, right? I know a lot of like even certain like pockets of Toronto, like there's like a huge weird ratio of like more Somali girls than Somali guys. And then there comes that issue of like, okay, the Somali girls are saying, okay, but who do we marry? All the brothers are either in jail or they're all dead. Yeah. So it's kind of like, okay, we're going to go for the Ajnabi guy.
Yeah.
And then so there's a lot of multitudes of like issues like all swarming together in this big pool. And I mean, I understand where she's coming from. I think she's 100% correct. And you won't understand how she feels unless you're a mother. Yeah. Right? So everybody who was talking in the comments obviously aren't parents.
But so are men leaving their women? Like, are their fathers are absent? What I'm trying to say is that is there a problem in our community where fathers are upright and just leaving their kids and not supporting their kids?
Some of them. For sure.
Or men in general. Like, no, fathers. I mean, they are fathers at the end of the day.
I think the problem is that I think part of the teaching and the education that we give young Somali boys as they're growing up is not responsibility. Yeah. Responsibility is usually bared on the girl, right? Yeah. So she has to learn how to clean, cook, feed her little siblings, take care of them, change diapers, everything. But you'll never see the older brother learn how to do those things. So it starts with responsibility because, people, especially, some young men, if they get married and have a child and they were never taught responsibility, of course they're going to be overwhelmed with the prospect of having a child and taking care of it, and they might leave, right? But again, like, I don't want to kind of say that all men do this or all Somali men do this.
No.
Yeah.
But is there a big major problem, or is this like one or two girls that are just making videos?
No, it's not.
Because they're making it sound like it's one or two girls that are just in their feelings. But there is I'm asking you, have you seen it with your own eyes? Have you heard it with your own eyes that these women like there's a huge population of single mothers?
Yeah, 100%. And alhamdulillah, like I don't have any experience with that. I live in a 2-parent household. But I do have a lot of friends who do have single parents, and I know that it's difficult for them, and especially it's hard on the mother.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily like they have single parents that are fathers and, it's like the father with the kids. It's usually the mother.
Yeah.
And, for the mother, it's just like, again, she has to be 2 parents. Yeah. So I feel like also in the culture, we don't cut, single motherhood some slack,
100%.
We're so hard on them.
Yeah.
Like, how that, like, if the child, like, goes corrupt, it's the mother's fault automatically. And the thing is, you take away the personal agency of the kid, right? If a Somali kid decides that he wants to go and, shoot people, it's not the mother's fault.
Yeah.
The kid has agency. They have autonomy of their own body.
Yeah.
They made that choice.
And somebody else made that baby, like that child, right? There's two. There's two.
Yeah, it doesn't take one person to make 100%. A child.
100%. And another thing that I've noticed is that our Somali, when I was younger, I said, Mommy, why is there so many Somali like single mothers? And then I also asked her, I said, don't Somali single mothers have needs? And when I mean needs, I don't mean sexual needs. Yeah, they're human beings. Everybody has got sexual needs. I mean like somebody to mentally stimulate you, somebody to hold you at night and tell you it's going to be okay, someone to love you. There's so many Somali women that have left their divorce or whatever the case is, and the father is not in the life of the kids, and they're alone forever.
It's because they constantly put the needs of their children before themselves. And that's kind of like psychologically, that's most, if not all mothers, right?
Yeah.
So like, for example, when a mother has a child, she'll kind of neglect her own personal hygiene, those kind of things. But then when it comes to single motherhood and then the father leaves for whatever reason, that takes a toll like very deeply, like psychologically, emotionally, to the point where she's like, I can't think about getting married and having a nikah and a wedding with another man. My children need me. I have to take them to school, tutor, sports, you know what I mean? So this personal neglect just goes on, and then it fosters anxiety, depression, mental illness. So I think that a lot of the time, it's just the narrative that I hate the most, especially, is like, when a single mother has many kids, and they, one or two of them, kind of slips through the cracks in a sense with like, bad behavior. Of course. They'll be like, it's the mother's fault. She has 7-8 kids, some of them are young, some of them are old. It's not her fault if, some of them do things that they're not supposed to be doing. So I think that like part of the discussion has to be like, we have to be more forgiving and kind towards single mothers.
Yeah. Bueller,
well, I just want to bounce with that. I think also the problem is the tone and the discussions being had about the guys through the guys. Yeah. So like, I'll give you an example. If one guy...
Give us that insight, man. You're the guy on the
panel. No,
Do you know any guys that...
I'm about to give you a haymaker of a speech. Listen.
Okay.
There's one guy I knew who told a story, and the way... And here's the problem. The whole thing stems to the tone and the way... See, the way you guys are talking about this right now and women are talking about... Guys do not talk about it like that. This guy wanted to leave his woman, and he left. And then when asked, why'd you leave? And with kids and everything. He goes, what up? Mentally? They're on a plane and they crashed. They died. That's where...
Wow.
On a whim.
So,
So, like, it's the whole disassociation thing, right? They can disassociate at the drop of a hat because they don't know anything, but they don't know better. It's not taboo. It's not wrong for them.
They know better.
No, bro, do you see how casual those conversations are? They're too casual. That means it's kind of adi. It's bad, but, those conversations are way too casual.
Then where did it go wrong?
Where did it go wrong?
Generations.
Yeah.
It's got it. Right?
Like, it's just generations and generations of fathers and us being used to, as Somali women, and just kids in general, that it's okay for...
So my kids are going to survive because I survived without a father.
Exactly. And that's so sad that that's continuing. Like, it keeps going. And we're in a whole... Half of us are in different countries. Yeah. We have different cultures that we inhabited. And it's kind of like, why are we still okay with a man just up and leaving?
Yeah.
It's not frowned upon by men.
But it's not. It's not even just men. I've seen women, and they're just like, it's okay, life goes on, kind of thing. Like, their friends will pat them in the back, like, you got this, like, I'll help you, or they'll help each other, and it's like, why is that okay? Like, she's dying inside. But the first thing you say is, we're gonna do it. There's no choice.
And Rhoda's video, by the way, she kept saying was that when it happens to women and they're devastated, they're crying, they're depressed, these are bil-adan, these are human beings. Mahal daha usabr. Ilmaha dawai usabr. Okay, I'm gonna take them, get child support. I need to survive anyways. Ilmahan, who's gonna masroof them? Abayo wa ilmaha abahoda. Usabr. Iskuh shaw. Yelin. And so now she's literally she can't go that way and she can't go that way. So she's stuck in the middle of just.
That conversation became too casual. Just here's the answers.
And also, I found that the men's family never like says, "Hey, you know, what are you doing? You're my little brother. You're my this. Why aren't you going to your family?" They never do that. They just turn the other cheek. Like,
that's not my sister.
Like he's doing his thing. Let him live his life.
Next wedding, like,
or they'll even like go so far to even hook them up with another like wife. I've seen this happen over and over. It's completely
while not
normal.
taking care of his kids, like while just abandoning his kids.
There's no problem with divorce. You know, if it doesn't work out between the man and the woman, that's fine. But you have to make sure that you take responsibility for your children, because at the end of the day, boys will need their fathers, girls will need their fathers. You know, like. Kids need two parents. And I think also one of the things that I guess we were discussing just a couple minutes ago was I find that also men rationalize it to themselves when they leave their wife. They'll be like, well, I didn't have a father and I turned out fine.
Yes.
So, you know, they don't need one either, which is not necessarily the case. Everyone is built differently. There's some people who do not have fathers, but they grow to be amazing men, you know, love their kids. They're successful, like monetarily and stuff. But some men, they're still dead inside because they didn't have a father. So everyone's not the same, right? So when you create the narrative of everyone being exactly the same, I didn't have a father. I turned out good, so you don't, you know, you don't need one either.
And it's not all men. Like, let's make it very clear for the sake of the commenters that's going to click-clack and keyboard warriors, whatnot, that's going to come after us and be like, oh, Somali men are like that. We're not talking about all Somali men. We got Bueller here, we got Muhammad here, you probably got fathers and whatnot. Not all Somali men are like that. We're talking about...
Wait, a question. In general, have Somali men let down Somali women?
Okay,